Hey friends, hey mind wanderers. I want to talk to you today about how our mind gets in the way of a lot of things in our life that we think are real. Even if the things outside of us are kind of giving us real evidence of how good or bad or indifferent our life is. And our mind gets in the way of a lot of things in our life. And I was thinking about someone I used to work with who was in recovery and was doing a really good job staying off drugs and alcohol, and was in an intensive program and was about to go home and restart his life again. And he comes to me and he says, "You know what, Sam, I when I go home, my life at home is chaos. Financially, I'm insolvent. I don't know how I'm going to make my car payment because I don't have the money for it. I'm behind on my mortgage payments. I'm really concerned that I'm going to be homeless very soon, that I don't have a way out of this. I have no way of making ends meet when I get home." And I felt the anxiety and the fear in his voice, and we've all been there. I mean, it felt really real to him, and it was real to him in his thinking. But despite these circumstances, the stories, the drama, the intensity of the thinking around not having enough or debt or insolvency was so intense for him that it was really difficult for him to get out of his own way, and he was stuck in this cycle of darkness, that he was like in this black box with no way out. And that's what our mind does. Our mind does a lot of things great. It's a supercomputer, but it also glitches. It's great at keeping us alive in terms of modulating our organ systems. It's great protecting us from that saber-toothed tiger. It doesn't do a great job in figuring out a lot of things in our life. It doesn't understand much, but reacting when there's a perceived issue or problem. Now, underneath all that thinking is well-being. Underneath all that thinking, all that drama that our mind concocts, is well-being. So what I told him was, I said, we're not going to get anywhere, and you're not going to get anywhere by sitting in this misery of thought, by feeling anxious and scared. It's okay to feel this way. And I reassured him that, just sit with this. Sit with these feelings. And just allow your thinking to settle down. Sleep on it. Just take a couple hours to just try not to be hyper focused on it. And he did that, and I'm not sure, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but I do believe that was really kind of, he saw that in that space between his mind creating all these catastrophic stories about his situation, and that space between catastrophe and well-being and calm was insight and wisdom. See, our mind creates these stories, but it always self-corrects. If you just sit there with your suffering, with your crazy monkey mind and your fear, your mind will self-correct. It always does. It always has self-corrected. But the wisdom and the insight is knowing that your mind's going to go there, even if you have circumstances that are difficult. If you ask someone who's a millionaire or very wealthy versus someone who's poor and doesn't have anything, they have the same, mind, thought, monkey mind dance going on in their head. That it's not the actual outside circumstances that we think are real and they feel real. It's the mind's thinking and the stories that the mind creates that make it real. Everything else is just really neutral, but it's what our brain is telling us about the situation that feels real. And the real secret is realizing that we are not our mind's thinking, that we are not the sum total of our crazy thinking, that very innocently our brain does the best job it can, and it's a machine. It's not who you are to figure out what's going on in a split second, instead of taking a step back and saying, oh, okay, because the brain will just go to choice A, choice B, and then choice C, but there may be 25 choices, maybe 25 solutions, and we don't get that insight and wisdom in those other choices by listening to our mind's thinking when something's happening to us that is, not desirable, that's heavy, that's uncomfortable. Hope this has been helpful. So the next time you're getting caught up and you're thinking and you're scared, whatever it is, remember, sometimes it's okay just to take a step back for a couple hours or a day and not to do anything about it. I mean, get a good night's sleep and let those thoughts settle, because I guarantee you, like it always does, real clarity of thinking and real insight will come through. Think about it.